everyone, I'm happy again to have you joining us on today's podcast. It's a new podcast and welcome. My name is Linda and I'm here with my co-host Gabriel Mungai.
Yes, and once again we are so excited to have you. Thank you for always tuning in and listening in. Remember that we always appreciate your comments and your reviews.
Exactly.
Remember to like and always remember to share. Always remember to share.
And leave your reviews on our podcast,
as well.
You really need your support to keep this video being recommended to other people.
Yeah, this channel we need to share it out.
Yeah.
Inform people to subscribe and always to join.
Yeah, when we share, it really makes us feel like we are doing something that is impacting the community, and it gives us the morale to keep on going.
Absolutely.
Because it's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not easy.
Yes.
So today's topic is building lasting relationships.
Relationships.
So
generally,
the bigger picture, like all relationships.
Yes.
So what we can do to build a lasting relationship. Yeah.
When we talk about relationship, people always narrow it to romantic relationships. And for this specific video, we are trying to cover wide. And just as a disclaimer is that all that we are going to share is not all that there is.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll only share up to the amount we have time to.
Yeah.
And also according to our opinion and our research, all right? But there is much more of the tips that we are going to share.
Yeah.
So always know that this is not it all. There is still more.
Omega.
there is still more. Yes.
Yeah. So just going into whatever we want to talk about, I want to talk about things that we can help us build the relationships. So I'll start with my first point. When you want to build a long-lasting relationship is communication.
Absolutely.
And we talked about that in our recent video.
In our previous video, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about the art of
communication. You should go and check out.
You can link it. We will have the link
down below.
Right down below, yes. So remember to watch that one.
Yeah. Communication. So for me, you want to go first or I go first?
Maybe just list the points first and then we'll talk about
so the first is communication. Number 2 is build trust. Number 3 is have boundaries. Number 4 is be intentional. Number 5, be accountable and be the person you want others to be
for you.
So let's start with communication.
Yeah, maybe I can go first.
Yeah, go first.
Well, among the 5 points you have shared, the one that I think has affected me most is communication. As I have shared in many of my videos and even in many places that I have spoken, I have personally struggled a lot with communication. Yeah, not just public speaking, but just with communication in general. I used to be shy, low self-esteem, but I was not able to communicate because I felt like I did not match up to people's expectations. So I always held back whatever I wanted to say. So this has personally affected me so much because most of the relationships that I should have had, that I should have kept, were lost because I couldn't talk.
Communicate better.
I could not communicate. And even during my dating time, I really struggled. I could do all the actions, but I couldn't do the talking. And one thing I found out with communication is that words cannot be replaced with action. Action can never take away the place of words. For example, if I want maybe my spouse, I buy them a bouquet of flowers and I want to take it to them.
You buy her?
I buy her. So once I have already taken it to her, there's a problem if it has no message.
Yeah, true.
So the bouquet is an action and it's a good action. But without the words, it lacks meaning because what are the flowers for? What do they mean? You understand? So you cannot take action to be in the place of words. All right, and neither can you take words in the place of action. So these two go hand by hand. If you're putting in some action, you must accommodate that action with some words. You must accompany the words with the action. Always. I give too much actions
without words,
too many signals
without
no words to accompany them. So I lost in many ways, and I thank God I've improved. I'm not there yet, but at least right now I can be able to express myself yeah, you get to lose. You really get to lose a lot
if you don't know how to communicate.
If you don't know how to communicate.
And
even people can be willing to help you,
but if they don't know what you want,
if you cannot come out,
yeah, they don't know how to help you.
Their hands are tied.
Yeah,
they want to, but there's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way.
For me, communication hasn't been really bad. For me, I grew up knowing that I was not supposed to speak, but once I figure out that I'm supposed to speak, I really communicate very well, and that hasn't been a challenge for me. But I just want to say that when it comes to relationship, when you talk about communication, we not only talk about communication on your part, but the other person as well.
Yes.
Knowing how the other person communicates really helps the communication flowing in the relationship. For example, for people who are married, knowing the language, the love language of your spouse really matters.
Yes.
As he said, giving the wife the flowers really meant nothing to the wife if he didn't communicate. Explain whatever that means, why he is giving the wife the flowers, you know. Absolutely. So knowing what the other person really wants when it comes to communication will really help you on knowing how to communicate. So communication is all about knowing how you put like your communication style, and also knowing the other person's style, because we're talking about relationship. It is about two people, more than two people sometimes. It can be your parents, it can be your friends. So knowing the other person's style of communication
helps you get the flow.
Yeah, and understanding your own style of communication will help you in bringing together the words and the action and how you can go about the communication. Yeah, we can go to the second one.
Yes, and I just to say that communication is really key.
It's key
for relationships to function.
It's key.
If you are not able to communicate, it's going to be a problem for you.
A big problem.
Whatever kind of relationship you have, even with your friends, even with your children, if they cannot really pick what it is that you mean, if your signals are not properly decoded, it's going to put you at a
and I see that on the friendship part, where people are friends but they don't communicate. And disclaimer, I'm not saying that when you have a friend you keep on talking like 24/7, because as you grow you have responsibility, but just letting the other person know once in a while what you are up to, so that they cannot feel like they are not part of your life,
outside your life.
So just communicate, even if you don't meet frequently, even if you don't talk frequently, but just communicate and let the other person know where you are in your life. I also have a friend who is in Nairobi, but we don't communicate every day. By the time we communicate, we have so much to talk about. And when we talk, we update each other where we are. So I get to understand right now with whatever she's doing, she's so busy. I cannot expect her to be communicating every single time. So just communicating and letting the other person know where you are in life.
That's key.
That's key also. So that you don't judge each other and say people are fake friends.
You
also
go on and judge everyone.
To assisting each other. When you communicate, somebody knows maybe you're not financially stable at this time, so I don't get myself into telling you to give me money, because I know where you are right now.
Absolutely.
But if you don't communicate, if you don't tell each other where we are in life, if I consider you as my friend, then I'll maybe borrow money from you, and you tell me you don't have, and I'll say you're a fake friend.
Absolutely.
You see?
And just to add on that point is that communication is not really about how much talk there is, but about the depth of the talk. So you don't necessarily have to talk for 24 hours. You can have 30 minutes worth of talking. That is absolutely important for your life. But you can talk to someone the whole day and nothing.
It feels like nothing.
It's nothing. It's not always about how much. It's about how much it is in the talk.
Exactly.
The depth
that
there is in the talk.
We go to the next one now.
Absolutely.
Okay. The other one is build trust.
Yes.
For me, I think building trust is trying to be there consistently, and with your action. You cannot be there physically, but just being there with your action, showing somebody that I am here as your friend, as your lover, as your daughter, as your son, as your parent. I am here, showing the kid by your action that I am here. Really build that relationship between you and the kids. Sometimes you're so busy at work, but just creating that trust with your children will really help you in that relationship.
Yeah, to me, trust comes with being consistent in terms of what you speak and what you do.
Yeah.
That there is a comfortable flow without collision of what you talk about and what you do.
Exactly.
Because when these two collide, then trust automatically starts getting depleted. And trust is one of the greatest accounts anyone can have in life.
True.
If you build trust very well, you can harvest a lot from that trust.
Yeah.
Right? But most of us build inconsistencies in what we say versus what we do. You will promise someone you will come and you don't show up, and you don't explain. Yeah. And then you tell someone you'll send them something, you don't send and you don't explain. When these habits are continuously being present in a relationship,
there's mistrust.
And this is going to affect about that relationship. It will not last. It will never last. And I was talking to someone else, and we are trying to discuss trust. And one of the things I found out that even for you to do business,
you need to build trust.
You need to build trust. And what we were sharing about is the Indians. They are good businessmen. And one of the key things they have is that they have built reliability on what they sell.
Exactly.
You can come from anywhere and go to their shop, and if they tell you this is the original product, you can believe that is the original product.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they are clear and upfront with you, and you realize that the kind of trust they build around their businesses,
it's very huge.
It's very huge, and their businesses go for decades. They are transferred to generation after generation.
Exactly.
Based on trust.
So we can really say trust really needs your reliability.
It's that reliability that you build in people. That whatever you say, it is, and whatever you do, it is what you said. Once that is established, you have a chance of building a lasting relationship.
And sometimes our past really also affect us in the way we trust other people. You know, for me, for example, I really had trust issues. This is something that really affected me when it comes to relationship. I'm very, very hard in trusting. I don't trust that easily. I always put a block, and if you get to get my trust, that means that you've shown so much.
You have worked for it.
Like there's some things that really happened to me in the past where it created that block, you know. So you have to earn my trust, and it's something that I'm working on. That sometimes it is also you who blocks people from trusting them, because you keep on pushing them away. You keep on pushing them away, and to say the truth, trust is not something that you take, it's something that you earn. Trust is earned. It's earned. It's not
built
for
over time.
You cannot ask me to trust you. You must do things that will make me trust
you. You see, when we meet people, the first moment we meet people, at face value we trust them. But it is what they do after we have met them that determines if the trust goes up
them
or the trust goes negative. And maybe just you can talk to us about trust in couples, in relationship and intimate romantic relationships, and how it comes about and how it creeps in, just from your view.
From my view, I think trust is built as you stay together for long, because at first you meet and it's all about love in the air, and you know, all this love is blinding everything, and then you get married. In the first month, it's all about love, and then you start noticing things you didn't know about. You know, you start noticing behaviors and this kind of thing that you didn't know about. Now you start drawing yourself back, because now you are knowing the other side you didn't know about. Right? So it is up to the other person, like it is up to both of you, now that you've started knowing each other, to come out and say, okay, this is me. And also you, as the person who's seeing some odd behaviors, communicate. Ask, I'm seeing some odd behaviors I didn't know about when you were dating. And then when you ask, try to explain, don't hide, because most of the time there's a lot of mistrust because we try to hide. You know, when somebody says you used to promise this and you don't deliver, explain, you know, I don't deliver because right now we have a lot of expenses in the house, and that's why I'm not giving you whatever I said I'll give you.
Yes.
But once I get the money, this is what I'll do to you. You know, just give me some little time until I get the finances. But then when somebody asks you, you used to promise me you'll give me ABCD when we get married, and you don't explain, or you try to hide it, I'll give you tomorrow, I'll give you, like, you keep on building the mistrust because you create that hope in somebody. But when you're open and said, okay, I promised you and I still remember that promise,
yes,
but because of ABCD I've not delivered, but just pray for me, or let us wait, in a little time I'll deliver whatever I promise. You create that trust. Somebody trusts you and he knows in their mind that, okay, this person promised this, but because of ABCD he has not given me, but he has explained to me, and maybe in due time I'll get it. Yeah.
Wow. Just to add, maybe just to talk about trust in relationships, especially romantic relationships.
Yeah.
I think trust and mobile phones has become a big issue.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the phone is the source of contention.
Yeah.
And it has caused a lot of mistrust among even couples. And people ought to be open with those things, especially when it is romantic relationship. You ought to be open with your device. You ought to share what you are doing, because they make people suspect you even when there is nothing really
don't
to
do
suspect.
Suspicious things.
Yeah, you don't have to do suspicious things like answering calls when you're hiding and texting some people at odd hours when you are alone and things like that. They can really tear down
the trust.
A relationship.
And
because we are talking about lasting relationship, I think the phone is something you need to look at very much, especially when you are in a romantic relationship.
Can I go to the next one?
Absolutely.
The next one is having boundaries, and I'm gonna start with that because he has mentioned about the phone. For me personally, this is my personal view, is that in any relationship we ought to have boundaries.
Yes.
You know, when it comes to relationship, it all depends on how you agreed when you're dating or when you're about to get married. And this is why communication is very important, especially when you're dating, because you have to ask questions, and you have to ask hard questions, and you have to plan, and you have to talk about some things. Because some people, when it comes to phones, example, they are very okay with not looking at their partner's phones, depending on how they agreed.
Yes.
And there's some people, they need to be there
constantly
to
checking
see whatever is going on.
Constantly checking. Yes.
And for me, I feel like when it comes to phone issues, in relationship, especially romantic relationship, kindly don't hide it from your partner, but you as a partner, don't be too much involved in the other person's phone.
Don't snoop too much.
Don't snoop. For me, I believe with my husband, if I want to check his phone, I'll check when he's there. I just ask him, can I have your phone? Can I have your phone? He'll give me, I'll look whatever I'm looking, and then that's it. But somebody going to the toilet and trying to look at somebody's message, like there is that thing of, you know,
some
being a CID when you're
spying on your spouse.
Everybody's a spy when it comes to relationship, but what it builds up mistrust, right?
Yes.
So you better ask somebody the phone when they're there, so that when you see something, kindly ask what am I seeing here? And then the other person can be able to communicate and explain
what it is.
Because when you look at it when they're not there, you don't even have the energy to ask. Now you're boiling, you can't ask because they'll ask you why what are you doing with my phone
in my absence.
So it brings about, you know, that fight and all that. So just do it when they're there, so that you can have that room for communication.
Be open with it. Be open about it. Be open about it.
And you know, also boundaries when it comes to other relationships really matters, because when you have boundaries, I've noticed when I have boundaries with friends, that's when I have a long-lasting relationship.
Yes.
Because I know what to say, when to say it. I know what to do with my friends, because I know how they are, what they are like. So there are some things that I don't say when they're there, or I don't tell them, because I know they are going to hurt their feelings. So I have my boundaries, you know, and that really helps in having a very long-lasting relationship.
Personally, when it comes to boundaries, I think I have also had a challenge with that, because is when you love someone, when you are in a relationship with someone, that you feel like you need to give in, you need to allow them, and sometimes we do not have the limit up to how much I can allow. And when it gets there that someone has your full space, then the relationship is in danger.
Yeah.
Because when someone encroaches too much, even in your personal space,
Yeah.
as good as they are, then you are cornered.
Yeah,
You are
true.
cornered. When you want to read, maybe you are doing your study and your friend comes in. When you want some private time, maybe you even want to pray,
Yeah.
and your friend is there.
Is there.
And then you realize that boundaries are what allow relationships to last.
Exactly.
It is it is not
Exactly.
lack of boundaries
It
that
is
allows
boundaries.
relationships to last. It the boundaries that you make
True.
that allows for people to respect you and to honor you,
Yeah.
and allows you space, that you have your personal space and you have the space for them.
Yeah.
And with that, you are able to relate from a point of respect.
Yeah.
All right.
True.
From a point of respect. Without boundaries, there's no respect
There's
in
no
the relationship.
respect.
So you must always establish boundaries of all kinds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
true.
boundaries need to be all round, and with everyone, because everyone, you have a way you must relate with them, and not to a certain level.
Yeah.
Right? Not to a certain level. You cannot allow all your friends to be coming into your bedrooms.
No, no,
It's not
no,
possible.
No, no.
It will not work.
Yeah, it will
yeah,
not.
it will not work. So you need to have those boundaries. Let everyone have their limit, so that you know how to relate with them,
Yeah, true.
and when to relate with them.
And always communicate about the boundaries. For example, for me with my friends, they know there's days
Yeah.
they can't call me for us to go out.
Yeah. And
They
some-
know,
some-
and I
sometime-
explain.
Yes.
And I explain, on this day I'm not available. On this day is the day for me and my family. And also when it comes to my husband, we communicate. I know there are some times when we can't be together. Not like in the house we are there, but I know this time is for him to do his own
Do
studies.
his work, yes.
And he knows that in the morning when I wake up at 5, after preparing my kids to go to school, it's my
your
time.
It is your time.
It's my time.
Yeah, yeah.
My mother knows that my boundaries is you don't come with your friends to my house uninvited.
Yes.
Prepare my mind, prepare me psychologically that you're coming with people. You know, so just communicate. It's not bad to communicate.
Yeah.
When you communicate your boundaries, it helps the other person to know what they can do to you.
Yeah. What
you know?
you allow and what you cannot allow.
Don't be afraid to communicate.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, when I like, for me, I communicate with my work. We even communicate. We have boundaries.
Yeah, we do
for
have
us
boundaries.
to. We work together, but there is boundaries. And when he feels like no, this is not it, he tells me.
Absolutely.
When I feel the same, I tell him. And also with other relationship, this is where the far I can go. From this place I can't go.
You cannot
We look for another option. We look for another solution. So communicating your boundaries really matters when
Is
it's in
key.
your relationship. We go to the next one.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry for that.
Thank you.
The next one is being intentional about your relationship.
About your relationship. I think here we are too careless with things.
Exactly.
We are too careless with people, and I think it costs us sometimes too much when you are careless with how you are dealing with people,
Yeah.
because you are not intentional
You are not
with those kind of
intentional.
relationships.
Yeah.
So you just because Linda is my friend, so I'm just careless on when I can call, what I can say,
Yeah.
and lack of intentionality will make me too relaxed.
Exactly.
And maybe cross the boundaries that I shouldn't cross.
You shouldn't.
You see? So I think intentionality is a key,
Yeah.
because once you're purpose to keep the relationship, you will learn what to keep
Yeah.
and what to avoid.
And ways you can keep them.
You will learn what to do to make sure the other person is happy. You will learn when to apologize. You will learn what to say, and even how to say it. Because you are very intentional, and you are checking. Every time you meet, you are checking, what did we say right, what did we say wrong, what can we improve on. But once that lack of intentionality encroaches you, you will lose.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
will lose so many people. You
Exactly.
even lose your loved ones.
Yeah.
I have seen many places where children do not want to communicate with parents just because someone is careless.
Yeah.
Careless with how you speak to your children. You feel like just because you are the parent, the children's opinion do not matter. And over time you realize the distance is building up. Even your spouse, if you are too careless, when you are too careless with any relationship, it's not going to last.
It's not going to work. And for me, when it comes to intentionality, I think intentionality in any relationship starts, first of all, being intentional about that, having that relationship.
Keeping it, yeah.
Are you intentional about being friends with your friends?
This person, yes.
Be intentional about selling that thing. When you get married to somebody, is it your intention to marry that person or not?
Yes.
If it is your intention to marry that person, then be intentional in how you're going to build that relationship.
To work on the marriage, yes.
I think Wendy, she wrote the book Intentionality, and she was saying that people think that if they don't answer something, then they are not liable.
Yes.
But they're intentionally not answering.
Yes.
And that makes it an answer.
That's an answer by itself.
Yeah. Saying no or keeping quiet when asked something is also answering.
Yeah.
You know?
Silence is also an answer.
An answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be intentional in every aspect of your relationship.
Yes.
You know, when you decided that this is my friend, this is my lover, this is whoever in my life, be intentional about having boundaries.
Yeah.
Be intentional about communication, building trust. Like in that relationship, be intentional.
Finding ways to connect. Constantly finding ways to connect.
Yeah. And for example, for me with my relationship with my child, I am so intentional, even in speaking words to her. Every morning when she goes to school, I tell her words to tell herself. Like I'll tell her to affirm herself. I will intentionally grow our conversation. I will intentionally let my child know I am human. I'm not a superhero. I make mistake, and I intentionally apologize
for the mistakes.
So in any relationship, even if you are a parent, be intentional about that relationship to your child.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Can I go to the second one?
Yes, please.
Okay. The other one is being accountable.
Yes, about being accountable is very related to trust.
Yeah.
And it's all about being honest, being upfront.
Yeah.
Upfront, and always taking care of your end, being responsible. It's a part of taking your responsibility.
True.
And you find that in most of our relationships, we are used to running away from responsibilities.
Exactly.
You have your friend and you are to meet up, and maybe you are to make some contributions, and you just disappear.
Yeah.
And you are not accountable why you disappeared or why you did not show up. And because they are just friends, you just ignore that.
Yeah.
And that is a recipe to destroy that relationship. Yeah. So sometimes just missing to account for whatever you are doing, especially in romantic relationships. Just disappeared, you did not call, you did not tell someone where you are or whatever you are doing, and then you reappear. It starts producing questions, and the trust now is starting getting to be shaken up, and the less accountable you are, the less now the trust is now. So over time, if you're not careful with being accountable, taking your part of responsibility, being upfront, and telling your friend or your colleague whatever is happening, even in business, when maybe you have an issue with a product, just being upfront makes the customer feel comfortable with you. They feel they can trust you, even with your spouse, even with your friends, even in your parents. If something has gone wrong and you have your children there, and you know the consequence is going to affect them, you need to be accountable to them. Be upfront and tell them this is what has happened, and this might be the consequences, just to ready their mind of whatever that is happening. So it's very key that you are accountable in whatever capacity. Don't say just because someone is a friend, I'm not accountable to them. You know, this notion has been sold to people that it's all about me, that you don't matter. It's all, the relationship is to help me. If you don't accept me the way I am, it's your problem.
Exactly.
And that kind of careless attitude,
it's so bad. It's so bad.
It can never produce any relationship.
I think being accountable is not being accountable is more of playing a blame game.
Always
trying
the
to
victim,
blame the other person. Like for example, when we have a meeting, when you decide as friends we're going to meet for lunch, and then you come late, instead of you coming there and saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I came late,
or
next
even
time,
informing us beforehand that you'll be late.
Even just not even just explaining there, okay, I'm so sorry, I came late, but next time I'll do better. People come and they're like,
let's continue.
It's because of traffic, you know, si makosa yangu, sikupenda. Like, you always have a place to shift the blame. So trying to be accountable really builds a relationship. When you didn't do something better, even in your businesses, when you sell something to a customer and then they get some fault in it,
and they're accountable. Just
don't
be
say,
accountable.
I sold that and it was
that is your problem.
I sold to the other customer, they didn't complain. Just be accountable. Okay, I'm sorry, next time it won't happen. So just be accountable in everything that you do.
And not just in some relationship, in all relationships. All relationships,
parents, whatever.
We are even requested to be accountable to God. To go and ask for forgiveness.
Even your relationship with God.
Yes.
Be accountable. You did something wrong, ask for forgiveness.
Yes, don't be careless with any relationship.
True.
It wouldn't last.
True.
It won't last.
The last one, can we go to the last one?
Yes.
The last one is being the person you want others to be.
This is a hard one. This is the hard one.
I'll go first. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
Sometimes especially when it comes to ladies, and I'm going to use as an example.
Yes.
Yeah. So some ladies, you want to get married and then you're like, I'm looking for Mr. Right. You know, I want my man to be this, honest, God-fearing, or blah, blah, blah. All these things written down that you want the man to be. The question is, are you that person?
The checklist.
Are you that person? You want a God-fearing man? Are you God-fearing?
Are you God-fearing?
You want an honest man?
Are you honest yourself?
You know, you want a loving man. Are you loving
yourself? Can you reciprocate?
Exactly. So sometimes you have all these things that you want other people to be, but we are even nowhere to be found near that thing, near those qualifications. So when you want other people to be specific things to your life, kindly start by being that.
What I'll say about this is that relationships are not meant to complete you. There's nobody who is coming to complete you.
No.
Relationship only complement
each other,
but they do not complete. And we have this attitude of people saying that I want a person with everything that I don't have. And that is an ingredient of a relationship that will never last. All right? Because if you are coming to take from someone, how much can someone give? Honestly,
exactly,
they can only give just as much as they have. All right. So if your perspective is that I'm coming to Linda because she can speak, so I won't be speaking, because she has money, so I come in broke, because she's honest, I'll come in like it's impossible. It's impossible. And what you are is what you attract. That is something we forget. So you are putting in all these conditions that you are not.
You are not.
What you keep getting is exactly what you are.
Exactly.
Is exactly what you are. So don't go looking for relationships to complete you. Make yourself a complete person.
That's what I wanted to say.
Make yourself a complete person. Build yourself up to a place where you are complete. And once you're complete, now build relationship. In that case, you bring something on the table, I bring something on the table. It's not a way of being a parasite. Most of the relationships we have now are parasitic.
They're milking.
Someone is coming in to milk you.
You run dry.
Everything from you. And what they are bringing on the table is literally nothing. Nothing.
And sometimes we enter into relationship with so much brokenness.
That
we are hurted. We are so broken. And we enter into relationship and you want the other person to fix
you.
You can't
and it's not
the other
possible.
person to fix you.
It's not possible.
So when you enter into any relationship, first of all, know yourself. Try to fix yourself. When you enter into relationship, nobody is going to fix you. Because when you enter with that mentality, you'll always be looking for any fault that person has.
Not even fault. You'll be too demanding from that person, because you are expecting them to fix you, to take care of this, take care of that, take care of that, and nobody is really able
look for the fault, because now if they don't take care of you, now you think that they are not good enough.
They don't love you.
They don't love you.
They don't want to relate with you.
They don't surprise you like the other men surprise their ladies, you know.
And this is the problem on your end. So just fix yourself first.
Yeah, yourself first.
Before you associate with
Yeah.
anyone, get yourself fixed.
Fixed.
We have a video on defining
Your identity and how to add value to yourself.
And how to add value to yourself. First of all, watch those videos, build yourself up, so that even when you bring someone, they can also benefit from you. You can also benefit from them. You can add something to them, even if you will take something from them, so that you meet at a common ground. You don't always meet people from a lower ground that you are demanding them.
You'll pull them down.
You pull them down. Yeah. So
kindly watch those videos, because before you start building a relationship with somebody else, you have to build your relationship with yourself first. So watch those videos about adding value to yourself. You know, finding your identity, for you to find yourself before going to pour out your problems to another person.
People,
you'll never be satisfied with anybody,
and you'll never have a lasting relationship.
No,
you'll never have a and this is one of the keys where you find people dating so many people. You must first of all come to a point where you are relating with yourself well first, okay? Then the second thing, you need to relate with your God well. All right. These two relationships affect how you relate with
other people.
All right. So if you have a problem with relating with yourself, you have a problem with relating with God, then you'll obviously have a problem with relating with the other people.
True.
What we have talked about is how to build lasting relationships
with other people.
And therefore these aspects that we have talked about, put them into consideration, and you'll see yourself succeeding in relationships.
True. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm so excited that we talked about it. I hope it will start up conversation, as we always say, in your homes, at your workplaces, with your friends. Like, it will be a reason for you to start asking you questions and trying to start building your life for the better. Positively building your life. But I think from us, I think you are done with this video.
Yes.
And thank you for watching till the end. We don't take you for granted. Thank you for sticking by till the end and listening to us. I hope you leave your comments down below. Let us know how relationship wise, how you are affected, and how it has been a struggle for you to keep relationship. If you had that experience, it can also free other people. And if there is something else that we did not mention here on building relationship, you can also leave it on the comment section, so that we can start engaging with you and growing the conversation.
The better relationships you have, the better life you have.
Exactly.
And the vice versa is true.
So from us,
until next time,
bye.
Adios.